today's episode is going to be all about ToshoCon, and I'm going to be interviewing really creative individuals from ToshoCon. ToshoCon is a convention for teenagers, and this year it is all digital. The judging portion of it was in person, and I got to be part of that process, so we'll also have a little talk about at the end of the episode where Pannon, myself, and David will all chat together and talk about doing the digital panels that we did for ToshoCon, as well as our own individual experiences. Remember, you can share your stories with us at cosplaystitchandseam.com on the little Google form there. I'm great with words today. And also cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com. And again, we also have our Facebook page. And I think I covered everything. If I forgot something, I'm pretty sure everybody will remind me later. Love you guys, and enjoy the episode. We're here at ToshoCon, and I have here with me...
Gray and Evelyn.
So we say that a little louder for the microphone. You're so quiet.
Gray and Evelyn.
Awesome. And you guys are cosplaying as...
Shoto Todoroki and Izuku Midori, known as Deku.
Yes. And you guys look fantastic. So how long did it take you guys to put these costumes together?
Since we just got notified at the beginning of July, we had pretty much like 2 weeks to put this all together, which was nice for me since I got a head start, but Gray here accidentally just did it last minute, but I helped him. The day, let's see, I started yesterday at like, 10-ish a.m.
Wow.
And I worked till like 10 p.m. So it was a lot of going to the store and just, figuring out what to do.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
So with COVID-19 going on and all that stuff, like, did that make things harder to do, or was it easier because nobody was at the store, or like how did that change like your approach to creating these costumes?
That was easier for me since most of the stuff that I got was online, including the construction foam that I had.
Nice.
And my mom also helped me with some of the parts too, and she has like a lot of craft stuff. She has like a room full of craft stuff that I just use. Yeah, I had to go to 3 different stores, but it wasn't that bad because it didn't really change the process. I probably would have done it the same. I think the only thing that changed it was that I wasn't able to start working on it until I was with my Nana. So.
Makes sense. And then with that, what has always been like your favorite thing about ToshoCon? Have you guys been to ToshoCon before?
I haven't been to ToshoCon before.
Yeah,
me neither. It's my first time.
Oh my gosh, okay. So your first time, ToshoCon, you guys will be part of all those online events that they're doing, right?
I hope so, yeah.
Awesome. Well, what has been your favorite part so far then? I mean, there's not much going on right now.
Well, I'm really excited to see how it's gonna be because of COVID, but my favorite part about Toshacon, the creativity process of it, of how I found out and then I started thinking of what I could do for the costume.
Just inspired you.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, my favorite part about, Toshocon, when I first heard of it, I was 12 when I heard of it. I wanted to go there too. Just I can lie about my age, they don't know. And then, well, my mom stopped me because my mom said no. So,
moms.
Yeah, here I am at the appropriate age to attend ToshoCon, and I just, I think that it's really great that, conventions like ToshoCon, where it's just, a lot of teens, coming together, having the same common likes and everything to just talk about one thing and just have fun and,
I love it. Well, thank you guys so much. Good luck in the contest, and I don't know what else to say. You guys look amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I'm excited.
So I now have with me
Marin.
Marin. And Marin, would you mind describing what you are dressed as, who you are dressed as, for our listening audience?
I'm dressed as Eep from an RPG horror game. It's really fun. It's a pretty spooky one.
It looks really cool, like looking at the reference pictures, plus like how your costume looks, like it seems like it's a pretty awesome game.
It is pretty awesome.
Awesome. So with COVID-19 going on, how hard was it to like get all the pieces that you needed for your costume? Was it extra hard, or was it just like, nah, no problem? How did that change your process?
It wasn't too much different from every other time I've done it. I just went to thrift stores to find all the different pieces. I had to buy like the skirt online, but mostly is just the same, other than having to wear a mask.
Nice. And how long did it take you to like go out to each store to find these? Like you mentioned that it took you a couple tries to find the shirt.
Yeah, it's a weird shortage of just normal white button-ups. I had to go to like 3 of them to find it. And oddly enough, the shoes, which are usually the hardest part, were found at the very first one.
I completely agree with you on that. Like, I feel like that should have been reversed.
Yeah. You'd think there's just normal white button-ups, but no.
Yeah. Awesome. And you've been to ToshoCon before?
Uh-huh. The past 2 years.
Past 2 years. Awesome. What has been your favorite part of ToshoCon?
Well, there's a lot I really, really liked about it. But the sense of, like, community and coming together and seeing people who like the same sort of stuff in person is really cool. Especially when we would do that judging thing at the very end of it, where we watched all the different presentations and the art stuff. That was really cool.
It is a really awesome community. I've just come as a judge every year and just wished I was young again. I was like, I want to be one of these people. This is like fun.
Yeah, I'm really glad that, I think I saw a flyer in the library. I'm really glad that I checked it out because it's super cool.
Awesome. Do you have, let's see, is this your first time entering a contest? Or have you done it before?
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure? All right. Do you have any advice for anybody who is like their first time entering a contest? Like just based on what you just experienced right now?
Plan beforehand what you're gonna do like on the stage. Because I was thinking about it in the car, but then I got distracted.
I've done that.
Mostly just calm down. Don't let your nerves get the best of you.
You seem very chill during all of this. Like you're very composed. Like you did amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Marin. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So thank you so much, Marin, and I hope you enjoy ToshoCon. I'm looking forward to seeing like all the online stuff that they're doing for it. Like,
oh yeah,
seems
sure.
like it'll be really cool. Good luck in the contest too.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are here with. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Dean Curtis.
Dean Curtis, and you are cosplaying.
I'm cosplaying from the first store as Loki.
Yes, and you look amazing.
Oh,
like it's incredible. Do you want to create a visual picture for our listeners of like how your costume looks and your fabric choices?
Absolutely. It's a lot more like I wanted to create more or less not so much as a straight outfit as much as more of a emotion, because he's going through a lot of stuff right then, because it's exactly the moment he finds out, oh hey, I'm not Asgardian after all. So it's a lot of sleek designs because he's a very slick person, a lot of cotton just around a lot of areas, and then a lot of hand painted like.
It's really beautifully done, and I love the detail and emotion that you put into this character. Your stage performance was fantastic, just perfectly sassy Loki. You did amazing. So you've been coming to ToshoCon for a while now?
I think I started coming the day it started.
Awesome. So what has been your favorite parts of ToshoCon?
I met my best friends there who don't live where I live, so I always have to see them at ToshoCon, but I'm always excited. I host a panel almost every year. I love being a part of it. The karaoke that's always there, the fun activities that happen. I've always loved being a part of the cosplay contest and stuff, even though I just recently started doing that. It's really just a fun environment to just it's a really just chill con for cool people.
I love it. And with this year with COVID, like, has that like put a damper on anything, or like how has that been different this year for you guys? I know it's not happening till like next week,
Yeah.
but like how's that been different? Like, what are the pros and cons?
I no longer get like the excitement of being a part of like, I love making cosplays and all of that, but it's really just the people that I see. I don't get to see them as much because, of course, we're children. We can't just drive up and down state whenever we want. So seeing each other like at things like this is really what like held us together and kept us like going. And we can't see each other, so we had to like somehow figure out a way to talk online or like video chat or something. But it's just not the same.
Well, I'm glad that you guys still have been able to connect, and you know, hopefully by next year we'll be able to have all this better taken care of, right? And we can all have ToshoCon in person again. It's been really fantastic talking with you. Do you have any social media that you want to like give a shout out to, that's yours or someone that you like, however you'd like to do that?
Well, I just recently started a new cosplay Instagram called Wonderboy Cosplay.
Wonderboy Cosplay, I love it.
Thank you. I do have to shout out my wonderful brother who's been supporting me this entire time. Apollo-centric cosplay, I think. It's Sebastian Moeller.
Oh!
He's wonderful. He's my oldest brother.
Oh my gosh, I can see the inspiration.
So he's great, fantastic. Always been like big inspiration in my life to just keep doing what I love, and especially with cosplay since he's the one who introduced me.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time, and yeah, we'll see you on the video.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I'm here with, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Lindsay.
Lindsay. And Lindsay, you are cosplaying as an amazing Elsa. Can you tell me about like why you chose this character and, you know, your costume a bit if you want to?
Yeah, part of the reason I love Disney is because I love the music and the singing, and the songs that Elsa has sung in both Frozen movies just really touched me.
They speak to the soul.
Especially in Frozen 2.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do Elsa because of that, because of how much I felt like I connected with her. And I'm not sure what else to say.
Yeah, you're good. So you said you picked this costume because it has like it's so flowy, and you showed that on stage like with the spinning, and you really showed that off. Like that is such like a great way to like choose a bot costume, as being like what do I want it to show the most of, and like you nailed it.
Although sometimes I trip on the skirt.
That's what happens with long dress
yeah,
things.
it's worse with my other dress because it's even longer.
Yeah. And have you been to ToshoCon before?
Yeah.
Awesome. So what are your favorite things about ToshoCon?
I like being able to see everyone's costumes.
Awesome.
In fact, some of the costumes I've seen in the past are why I got into some of the anime that I watched, like My Hero Academia.
Awesome.
Last year there were so many people doing cosplays from it, and I'm like, if people are wearing so many costumes from it, it's gotta be good.
I can tell you like it, you know, your mask.
Oh yeah, my phone's got a little pop socket on it too.
Aww.
And I've got another mask at home.
Sweet.
But I just like dressing up because it's fun, and I like to just do characters that I relate to. Although my avatar costume was given to me by someone after she grew out of it.
Aw, that's a great way to get a costume though.
Yeah.
Do you have any social media that you want to give a shout out to, whether it's your own or someone that you're inspired by?
Really just, I've got my Tumblr that's, I can't even remember the name for it. Oh yeah, it's Obi Mom Kenobi.
That's an amazing
puns.
name. I love it.
A lot.
Obi Mom Kenobi, awesome.
Yeah.
It's been really nice talking with you, and like again, you slayed it on stage.
Thank you.
Well done, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So we are here with, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name's Adriana Howlett. I cosplay as Echo.
And okay, your Echo is amazing. The head, the TV head is so cool. Like, tell us about like how you found that and got it all put together. Like, that's like super cool.
Yeah, thank you. I found it on, like, it took me a while to find, like, the perfect one. Because, like, initially I couldn't find any on an Amazon or, like, Etsy. But eventually I found one on Etsy that was, it took me a while to wait because there were a bunch of different models to choose from. And, like, none of them really fit right for me. Because, like, some of them didn't, like, look how I wanted them to look for the Echo cosplay. But eventually I found the one. Eventually.
Yeah.
Like, with all the vinyl in it and the padding in it as well, so that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you were able to like move really easily in it. It doesn't fall off your head. Like that's always like a big important thing for big helmety looking things like that. And so like you did fantastic with that.
Yeah.
Now, have you been to ToshoCon before?
Once.
And what was
one time.
what was your favorite part about it?
My favorite part is that there were so many people also cosplaying, and like but last time I was cosplaying as Dambo, like the robot, the cardboard robot.
Yeah.
And it was really fun. Like the atmosphere was really great, and there were so many people that were wanting like take pictures with me and stuff, and it was so much fun. Like that was amazing. It was fabulous.
And like ToshoCon is for teenagers. Like, do you think that's like a beneficial thing, or like what do you think of this teenager-only convention?
I think it's really good. Like just going the first time, I was able to meet people and like meet other people that were cosplaying, and it was really cool to meet other people that liked to do this kind of thing.
Awesome. And then since the whole COVID thing is going on, like how difficult was it for you to find? Was there anything difficult to find for your costume, or did it, like, how did that all go with COVID going on?
I didn't really need to find any, like, most of the things that I got, I usually just, if I went anywhere, I would wear a mask, and then, like, most of these stuff I was pretty fortunate for getting, like, a lot of this I got from Savers for a really good price. Yeah, we like that. And, like, it was really easy. Going to Savers, finding the right things. It was just really easy, very perfect.
Awesome.
And a lot of things I got before the pandemic, so.
That helps.
Yeah, I was like, all right, got it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. Do you have any social media of yours that you want to give a shout out to, or anybody that you're inspired by?
I can't remember the exact name of one of my friends that I've met, but I think she's like cosplaying fandom on Instagram. I'm not 100% sure if that's her name, but she's pretty awesome. She was cosplaying as General Amaya from an anime.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. She was here last year?
Yeah, she did a really good job.
Yes, I love her. Yes, that is cosplay fandom.
She's so nice.
Yes.
She's so nice.
That's so funny. I'm like, I follow her.
Like, I know her.
Yeah.
She was really nice. Very, 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 very welcoming before I went on stage last time. I was totally shaking in my boots before that. I was totally scared. But she was there, and she was very nice.
She's a very sweet soul, yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing the final video of all of this, so.
Me too.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
I am now here with this amazing Nezuko cosplayer. Will you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Stella Lee. I'm cosplaying Nezuko because, fun.
Fun, very fun.
Very fun.
Yes. So do you want to like kind of paint a visual picture of like how you put this costume together and how like you put all the how you look? There we go.
All right, sure. So I have like the Nezuko costume with like her little jacket and stuff, and like the brown. Actually, would you mind if I took my fangs out?
Oh yeah, go
I
ahead.
should have done that before.
No, you're fine. She's got amazing handmade fangs.
I know, it was really hard to make. I sat down in front of my kitchen stove for like 2 hours, and I was like, just squishing plastic into my mouth. It was perfect. So I have like her normal outfit on. I said that already. But I made it out of a shiny pink fabric and a kind of light pink. Light pink. It's like borderline white pink for like the little collar and stuff. And I have the obi, which I stitched using like it's like quilting like a quilting thing tutorial where it's like how to do the squares, and I was like, perfect, that sounds great. The obi is not official. It's very much just interfacing and fabric, and just everything is sewn together or hot glued. And so I have it velcroed. It's not like a tie obi. It's not super fancy. I have the little socks, and I made the shoes actually out of just soles of flip-flops I cut the plastic bits off of, and then added the ribbon.
Again, that's like the way to start making shoes, is like, I'll start with flip-flops.
Yeah, I'm very scared to approach any other making of shoes, so I'm like, so I have these long nails that make it hard to do anything. I made her little bamboo, I don't want to say choker, but
Like a bite.
Muzzle?
Yeah.
Yeah, just out of craft foam that I hot glued together because hot glue fixes everything.
It does.
And I drew on the little patterns on her. Flower patterns? I don't know
It's
what
like
they
a
are.
star flower?
Yeah, it's like an
kind of thing?
isometric pattern. I have
Yeah.
no clue. And I drew it on using a paper pattern I created, and I just kind of traced it over, and then I traced it over again with the final marker. And and that was the most painstaking process, I will say. So, anyways, yeah.
Awesome. So, have you been to ToshoCon before?
Yes, my first time coming to Toshacon was last year, and I was a vendor.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
What'd you sell at your table?
So I sold stickers, I sold charms, I sold prints. I even had blobfish plushies that I sold.
Aww.
Those were so cute. I loved them. What else did I sell? I think that's pretty much it, yeah.
And what drew you to ToshoCon? Like, why did you want to go to it?
I think Toshacon is just really nice because it's small. It's not too big, because I get a lot of anxiety from big crowds and stuff like that. And I do like Comic-Con, but Fan X. And then I love going there, but I'm like, it's so scary.
I totally get you on the crowd.
I know, it's terrifying because I'm like very small. I'm like 5'2", and I'm gonna get squashed. So it was actually nice being behind a table with a smaller crowd. I was a little bit anxious, but I had my friend there, so she was helping me vend, which was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty much it. I've actually wanted to come to ToshoCon, but every time I've wanted to come, I've been out of town. So I was like, this is the year!
And so you said you made most of your costume
Yeah.
before 2020 hit all of us.
Yes.
But during 2020, were there any adjustments and things that you had to make? And did COVID or anything else make it harder to do that?
Oh no, it's slipping. I made the hair bow way later because I was originally I made it and I was a clip and it was like a beret and it did not stay in, and so I was like, we're just gonna actually tie it in my hair because that works better. It actually keeps it out of my face rather than having it slip out. Nothing really else has changed. The makeup has, actually. The makeup was very simplistic at the beginning, and then I was like, let's just make it more complicated.
It looks really good at really outlines and animates your eyes.
All right,
There we
thank
go.
you.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the goal. So I'm very glad to hear that, actually,
Yeah.
because I'm like, yeah.
No, that's fantastic. Do you have any social medias, whether it's your own or someone else that you're inspired by, that you want to give a shout out to?
So my social media is at corgifox.png. Most of that is art. I don't really cosplay on there. Same thing goes for my TikTok, which is, I'm so happy it didn't get banned. At least not today, as far as I know. But that's pretty much it. I have a lot of cosplayer friends that I'll probably be putting on my story if I see an influx of people. So
Awesome.
yeah, but that's pretty much it.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
So we just finished watching an amazing dance skit done by the very talented
Oh, Kaki.
Kaki.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a cute name.
Thank you.
I love it. And your outfit is so cute and so sparkly, and I love it so much.
Thank you.
And you did amazing on stage. Your timing was just so wonderful, and even with the little mishap that happened, like you kept going, and that was the most fantastic thing. That's sometimes the most hardest thing to do on stage. And like, again, you're very brave and very courageous to keep going. I want to let you know that right now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I embarrassed myself plenty of times, so it's like, oh, well, this is new, but it's nothing really new, I guess. It happens.
Oh, you did great. Do you want to kind of like paint a picture for listeners of what your costume kind of looks like?
It's kind of like it's very similar to like old school AKB idol Japanese costume, where it's like simple, short, like blazer that's like overly altered. Then just a little belt for like accessories and stuff like that, and just like a whited pleated skirt.
It's super, super cute. And again, I love like the amount of sparkle. Those idol costumes are not complete without sparkle. And have you been to ToshoCon before?
Yes, I've been for the past 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah.
Wow. And so what has been like your favorite part of ToshoCon?
I think the atmosphere is pretty good. I think it get a little hectic, but I think it's a really good environment for like, you know, kids that are a little younger that might not have like people to like interact with that much, so I could tell like how much fun everyone's having, and I think that's really neat.
Yeah. And like you put a lot of work into this costume. Like how long have you been working on it?
I started like July 17th.
Oh my gosh, you made this you started this in July?
This year.
Wow. Yeah. That is a lot of work for a short amount of time. Good job.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's half a month.
Yeah,
Less than
just
half
about.
a month. Oh my gosh. Wow.
If I planned it out better, then maybe pieces wouldn't break.
Nah. Was anything like difficult to find or like get for your costume because of COVID, or like did it make it easier because there's less people out?
I normally get a lot of my fabric online, so a lot of the sellers I work with like canceled my order and stuff. Like the previous costume I originally planned canceled on me like 2 weeks before. So yeah, I went out to the store to get fabric this time.
Awesome. Well, I'm really glad that you were able to make it and show us your amazing talent. Do you have any social media that you want to shout out to, whether it's your own or someone that you're inspired by?
Oh yeah, sure. On Instagram, I'm heykaki. I don't think I have anything else.
Oh, that's great. All right, well, we'll make sure to check you out on Instagram. Great job, by the way. Thanks.
Thank you.
So, I am now here with this incredible dancing duo. What are you guys' names? Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Georgie. I'm Kate, I guess.
Georgie and Kate, awesome. And tell me about the characters that you two are cosplaying.
I'm cosplaying Kamyu from Urano Prince Sama, and he's part of a dance group called Quartet Night, and he's like an ice prince or something, like, and
He's a count from the Silk Palace.
yeah, he also only eats sweets.
Ooh, nice.
Ronmar, on the other hand, also from the same thing. They hate each other. Like, he likes savory things, Kami likes sweets. They always fight. It actually kind of led to the group breaking up for a minute. Yeah.
Cool. So, have you guys been to ToshoCon before?
Yeah.
Awesome. So what are your favorite things about ToshoCon? Like, what drew you to it, and why do you keep coming?
My friends.
Yeah.
I have a lot of like younger friends that come here, and the first year I was here, I actually passed out, and the staff like worked hard to like help me, and they gave me food, they gave me water, and I've never seen that at any other con, like anywhere. So it was actually like very nice. And I actually became friends with one of the staff members. I can't remember her name, but I know her by face. Me and her like talk all the time, and she's actually pretty nice.
Yeah, I would say also friends. Like, it's just kind of fun to come chill with friends, and you don't have to worry about like money and stuff. It's just always nice.
Yeah. That is awesome. So how long did it take you guys to put these costumes together? Like, did you do it, like over this past summer with all the COVID stuff going on, or like how did that all pan out for you guys?
Pretty much, yeah. I think. When did I start dyeing fabric?
We started dyeing fabric in like April because that's when we first started planning it.
Yeah, and I was like, I'll work on this while we can't do anything.
Good plan.
And then you came over one day and cut out pieces.
Yeah. So this is your quarantine project.
Yeah.
I love it. That's fantastic. Well, do you guys have any social medias of your own that you want to give a shout out to, or anybody that you are inspired by that you want to give a shout out to?
So I don't remember her username, but I know she's here right now. She's like my cosplay idol. I think her name is it's like Icy Inferno something, I believe it's. Yeah. She joined me last year.
Aww.
Use the mask as tissues.
For those listening, Icy Inferno is just getting all bashful right now. Awesome. Yeah, well, thank you guys. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the final video looks like for everybody. And you guys did an amazing job, so congrats.
Thank you.
All right, that was a really cool performance.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so we have, go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Leon, and I was cosplaying from Twisted Wonderland. I was Ace Trapola.
And would you paint a picture for our audience members of what you look like right now, which is fantastic, by the way.
Ace Trapola is from a game called Twisted Wonderland, which is a mix of almost Harry Potter and an official Disney property. So Ace Trapola is actually part of the Hartslebule dorm, which is the dorm of the Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland. So he has blazer with a bunch of checkers, a bunch of hearts, a bunch of roses, a bunch of everything.
And it looks seriously fantastic. I love all the detail you put into it. Such hard work. Yeah. Have you been to ToshoCon before?
I've been to the ToshoCon last year, but since I'm 19, this will be my only year participating. I've never done a cosplay contest before, so this was my first time.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So now that you've done, the contest, you've done your performance, you've done your judging, what advice would you give somebody if they were gonna try a contest for the first time?
Practice, and don't get stage fright like me. I have really bad stage fright, so it's been a lot of practicing and trying my best. And
I've been doing this a long time, and I still get stage fright.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that this would be a great opportunity since it's such a unique circumstance, and I can just do it in front of a couple judges, and it's recorded. That it makes me feel a lot better, and it's a good start.
Yeah.
If you're planning on doing a performance, do it in front of your friends first. Do it in front of a couple friends and have them be your makeshift judges, and there you go.
That's really good advice.
Yeah.
You're already a pro.
No, I'm not. I've been cosplaying since I was 13, but I've made one vest before, and then I makeshift a Henry from Fire Emblem.
Oh.
But that was 2017, I think. So the rest of my cosplays were bought, but I was I've always wanted to do a contest, and this game's coming out since I started making it before the game came out. And I'm I'm gonna make it. Yeah. I'm gonna do something really hard, and it's gonna be good.
And you said you started working on this in December?
Yeah.
And you've been working on it just on
constantly? On and off. I had to move in January, February. So the moving process was a little difficult, and I was in a one-bedroom apartment with another person, so having my really tiny sewing space, but ever since I moved, I have my own craft room now. Yay! And it was able to motivate me to work way more. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to see what the whole final thing looks all together, and with all the videos all together.
Yeah.
And you seriously did it amazing on stage. When you choreographed that by yourself is super cool.
I tried. I had a little help from just talking with friends and hey, what do you think if I did this? And they're yeah, that's cool. Being able to have friends and people to bounce ideas off of is I could never have done this alone.
It sounds like you've got some really great friends.
Yeah.
Do you have a social media that you want to give a shout out to, whether it's your own or someone that has inspired you?
Yeah, my Instagram is Leon_Boko, Boko on Instagram, and I post all my stuff there, and you can keep up with me there.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Of course, anytime.
So I am now here with
Addie.
Addie. Yeah. It is nice to meet you, Addie.
Thank you.
Your Junko cosplay is so adorable, and I say that because like she's also very scary. But you've found like all the perfect pieces for this. You look amazing. Like you've walked right out of the TV series for her. Like good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us like about your favorite part of this costume that you've put together?
I really like the hammer that my friend made for me by scratch, and I really like the poofy skirt.
It looks really cool. And have you been to ToshoCon before?
No, but I have been to FanX.
You have been to FanX? Yeah. So this is your first time at ToshoCon. Are you excited for all the online stuff that they'll be doing?
Yes.
Sweet. It's a little bit different this year, right? With everybody going online, and do you think you'll have just as much fun, or is it going to be just fun but a different kind of fun, or just not fun?
Yeah, fun but a different kind.
Awesome. Oh, that's great. Do you have any social medias that you want to give a shout out to, whether it's your own or someone who inspired you?
Sure. My TikTok is lemon, but the O is a 0.water.
Okay.
That's it.
Sweet. Gotta love those TikToks. Well, thank you so much. You look amazing, and your performance was awesome. So,
thank you.
Good job. I am here with, this is kind of frightening. It's a female version of Monokuma from Danganronpa. What is your name? And go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name's Avery, and I have been doing cosplay for around 7 months now. And my friend that is also doing this contest is the one who got me into it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Aw. So have you been to ToshoCon before, or is this your first time?
This is my first time.
Wow. So it's got to be like very interesting since it's all going to be digital and just kind of like a different experience. But have you been to other conventions before?
I had tickets to FanX this year, but it got canceled, so.
Yeah, it's kind of been a bummer for that.
Yeah.
You said that you've been working on this costume for about 3 months, and like you've found the perfect pieces for it. Was it hard to do that with COVID going on, or?
I found some of the pieces before COVID for other cosplays that I did, like my shirt, but I did do a couple of finds while COVID has happened.
Did it make it any harder, or just was it?
It was kind of hard because most stores were shut down or had limited people in, so you'd have to wait for half an hour.
Yeah. And then you've got this big old amazing hammer. That is very appropriate for Monokuma. Do you want to kind of tell people how you made this hammer, how you put it together?
Yeah, so it's a combination of cardboard, duct tape, and a PVC pipe. So you just have to fold the cardboard into circular shape, and then you cut out where the PVC pipe goes, and then you stuff the inside after you put the one edge on. Then put the other edge on, and then you paint it however you want.
Yeah, it looks really good. You did a pretty good job on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Are there any social medias that are your own or someone that inspired you that you want to share or give a shout out to?
Yes. The person who got me into cosplay, their TikTok account is @noodlecosplay, or just cause, and that's it.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. You look amazing, and good luck in the contest.
Thank you, guys.
So here we are at Digital ToshoCon. So we just finished up judging and recording the winners for the cosplay contest, which won't be aired until probably when this episode airs. Let's go ahead and have each of the judges introduce themselves. Go first.
Okay. I'm Jay Nostalgic. This is my first time judging ever, so it was a good starter opportunity. And it was great. So I'm very excited.
Hello, I'm Artemis I. I'm Jay Nostalgic's other half, and we make up Nostalgic I Cosplay. Yeah, first time judging, long time watcher of cosplay contests. It was definitely different being on the other side of it, but I enjoyed it.
Good.
I'm Icy Inferno, and this is my second year judging ToshoCon, but my 6th time judging, and yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Also your second time on the podcast now.
Yes.
Or if,
that's
not,
right.
if not more. Yeah, but like, yeah, you were on it last year.
That's right.
Yeah. So, with, most conventions going online or just canceling overall, like, how have your, feelings been this year with, 2020 being 2020?
Oh, I feel like 2020's thrown a lot of wrenches at all of us. There has been good things this year for me and Artemis specifically, but also there's been a couple struggle things. We had been completely planning to, first off, it started off really good. Artie won his first master's placing in at ALA this year, and we're most recently we've purchased condos. We purchased a condo, but other than that, SakuraCon had to get canceled, and now Bonsai is canceled, and so it's just a lot of. We don't have as much cosplay stuff to do, and so this was a really good opportunity to finally come back out and just have fun. And so, as hard as it's been, there's been light in the darkness as well.
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad, other than SakuraCon being canceled. I was supposed to have top surgery done, and my insurance lasted until after the surgery. Insurance ran out, and my appointment was canceled.
Oh.
So I gotta wait longer. I was gonna take a break from cosplay anyway, but this seems like a much longer break than I wanted. But yeah, kind of lost motivation, but I think being here kind of gave me a little bit of a oomph. So might want to get back into it a little bit more.
That is one thing I really love about ToshoCon is that, even with it being all online this year, this is one of the most positive, energy-induced, just every kid comes in with such energy to this convention, and I love it.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, my 2020 has been okay so far. I mean, it's not the greatest. I miss cosplaying. I still have motivation, but nothing to make it for. No photo shoots, no conventions, which I'm glad the conventions are canceling because I'm 100% avid safety before anything else.
Yes.
And I'm just hoping when we do get all together, it will be such a joyous occasion. But so far, nothing great has happened in 2020. I was sick for 3 months, but it wasn't COVID. But yeah, I gotta miss a lot of cons before COVID hit because of it. But I'm really looking forward to next year, hopefully.
Safer and stronger.
Safer, yes.
Yes, safer, stronger, and kinder. Right? We're all in this together, and that's been one thing that I really love seeing online with cosplayers is just people kind of rallying together, encouraging each other to stay positive during this time. It's okay if you haven't worked on something, and it's fun seeing what projects people have found to work on. A couple of the kids in the contest, these were their COVID projects, their quarantine projects and all that kind of stuff. And it's really nice to see people coming together to help each other out in one capacity or another, whether it's just cheering them on or going out of their way to bring supplies to somebody or things like that.
When you're stuck at home, you gotta do something.
Yeah. So while we were judging and whatnot, we were talking about cosplay names, and especially with this being a teenage convention, a lot of these kids are starting cosplay and all that kind of stuff. So do you guys want to talk about how you came up with your cosplay names?
Oh goodness.
Your alternate identities?
Do you want to go first?
Sure. So Icy Inferno came about many years ago when me and my husband used to cosplay together, and some of our first costumes always dealt with him having some sort of fire element to his characters. And because I was a former figure skater and I'm always a cold person, temperature-wise, and he's always a hot person, it kind of just was we combined them to be our team name, and it's stuck now, even though he's not really that much into our cosplay team anymore. It's mostly me, but I just kept it around because it represents both of us, and it's something we came up with together.
And because of him, you grew and became who you are too.
Exactly.
So it's good to keep the name.
He supports my cosplay. There you go.
Yeah, well, that's good, especially in a partner.
When VFAR, when you told me what yours meant, I had no idea that you tied a little bit of your Utah roots into it also, and that was really interesting to learn. But with me and Artemis, I, Jay Nostalgic, and him, Artemis I, before he married me, his real last name was Love, and he kind of wanted to keep with that, and so he chose I, which is love in Japanese, and I believe that's also love in Chinese, if I'm correct. And so he kept it with that, and then I liked the sound of Jay and the sound of Nostalgic, so I decided to do that. And then when we mushed them together, it was just Nostalgic I Cosplay, but a couple months later we were talking about it and we were like, wait a minute, Nostalgic means happy memories, and then his is love, and so basically we're a cosplay group of happy memories of love. As cheesy as it is, it's kind of cute.
I know, we didn't even plan it, it's just so gross. All on its own.
It's so cute. I love it. I love it. Like, both those stories are really awesome. And then I don't know if I have said on the podcast, like, why, I can't remember if I have said why I chose my name, but the V stands for Vermilion, which is the red rocks of my home state, and then fire is for my passion for making things.
I still love that so much.
Thanks. But yeah, what kind of advice do you have for, anybody out there who wants to start cosplaying? Like, you guys are all masters now and incredible crafters. Like, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to get started, especially like teens that are at ToshoCon?
I would say definitely reach out. If there's like a higher up cosplayer and you notice a technique, don't be afraid to ask them, because you can definitely learn a lot from them. Even watching like videos on YouTube, that's where I learned most of my techniques, from Camo-y cosplay and lightning cosplay. I've also asked some of my cosplay senpais, Panon, like, how'd you do that? Or Garnet Runestar, like, where'd you get those magnets? Last one, I utilized a lot of new materials, so I'd say another thing is just put yourself out there and try new things. Even if it's scary and you think it's not gonna end up right, just push yourself, because you could have a happy accident, and yeah.
Those are the best.
Be like Bob Ross. Happy accident.
Yes!
Yeah, I would say just go for it, try it, learn. Most of mine, I'm self-taught. Self-taught myself how to sew. I watch YouTube videos. I just try things and mistakes, and eventually it happens. I have a couple of very close friends that I'll reach out to once in a while, but I'm kind of more hesitant to reach out to other people. But I am more than willing to help anybody, because I know I was a little bit scared with me to reach out, but now I'm way more open to the fact of that, because mine is just trial and error. I just do it kind of thing. Just get it, learn it, and do it.
Mm-hmm. I third what Artemis and Icy both said. Just put yourself out there and just try and ask for help. And I've said this so many times during this judging session, but we all start somewhere. And I know, like, there's a harsh stigma against people like buying cosplays, but if that's going to be your first like positive step into the community, like, so be it. As long as you're happy and you're having fun, that's the most important part. And you just have to have fun, be happy. And with me, I've bought cosplays and then I've taken them apart to make patterns out of them. That's always a good place to start, whether just wearing an entirely bought thing or altering it. We all start somewhere.
Yep. Very good advice. As someone else who's self-taught, there are so many more resources nowadays.
Oh my gosh!
Oh god!
Yes. We just did a like nostalgia past 10 years of cosplay episode, and just like, it's crazy how many more resources are out there now. And so like, it's so much easier to be self-taught now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's so nice.
It's so you don't have to call up your mom and go, Mom, what does this stitch do? Mom, what is this material? I'm at Joanne's. Can you tell me what I'm doing?
Yeah. It's like, what am I doing?
YouTube. Oh, thanks.
Like, I remember going on to cosplay.com and waiting long and hard for help.
Searching through the archives of all the other questions.
Like, how did you make, like, your Lelouch v. Britannia outfit? I want to know. No one ever helped me, so I never made it.
Oh.
I was like, oh well, another time.
You're like, I need all these details, please.
Yes.
And now, like, you can get so much of that now, and it's just like, it's amazing how much this community has grown and how much more open people are to sharing their techniques and just being.
Thank you, internet.
Yeah. Woot, internet. So you two had been to ToshoCon before, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like as attendees?
Yeah, as attendees. One of our
This is like our fourth or fifth time.
Our first cosplay win in beginners was actually
ToshoCon.
here. It was 2013. We did Miku and Luca.
The magnet
versions.
versions. We bought these like weird dresses at Savers and altered them to add like the lace and the ruffles and whatever. And
We took apart headphones and made like craft foam headphones. And yeah, we all start somewhere.
First
Those
time,
photos are
first win, and
somewhere.
also first judging session.
Yeah, all here.
It's a good convention for starts.
Oh,
Yeah. And then you've been here judging, but have you ever attended? Did you ever attend it? Or?
I'm super immortally old vampire who can't come to ToshoCon. So, no, I judged here last year, and that was my first time, and I was so impressed by it. I was like, oh, I wish I could just attend this, but I'm so old. But no, I love ToshoCon for the times I am able to be here as a judge and whatever else, but other reasons.
Yeah, I always liked finishing up judging and then going over to their little artist alley and like
last year
purchasing
was
all of the little kids' art like as much as I could.
Gotta support them.
Yeah.
Probably makes them feel really good too.
That's another reason I love this convention, because it's a safe place for kids to have their first con experience. Because, I mean, we all know from experience that the larger cons sometimes aren't as safe as they should be, and so having a nice like small little library that it's free for the kids to attend and for them to just have a good safe experience is it's great for the kids. It is.
So with COVID still kind of being, you know, hopefully we figure out things soon. But like, I don't know, what are some like ways that you think can help people still stay positive at home and still feel hopeful for the future? Like, for me, one thing is like I've been getting into 3D modeling and learning more about 3D printing and all that kind of stuff. So I've had some like small at-home projects that have helped me like feel like, okay, I can get back into this, I can do crafting again, and it's been helping me out a little bit, and I'm hoping of sharing some of that to help others feel that way too. But do you guys have any advice to like help anybody who's like maybe at home and feeling like, oh, the world is ending? By the way, your feelings are valid about the whole world is ending feelings.
It feels like that, yeah.
For sure, everybody feels that way.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
You want to go first, Icy?
I'd say just, I don't know, do whatever you feel like. If you don't feel like crafting, then don't. Just spend, I know for a month or two I did nothing but play video games because I felt like the world was going to come to an end.
Me too!
Oh yeah, just catch up on the ones that
Catch
you've
up on
been putting
anime,
off.
catch up on video games.
I've played them all on super easy mode because I don't want something that's challenging. I just want to escape into a game.
Oh, yeah.
And
I know
then
that's
I've been
blasphemy,
trying,
but I
a
did.
few techniques here and there, and if I get bored with them, it's like, oh, it's no big deal because I don't need them anytime soon. I can try this and see if it's for me, but go back to video games. It'll make me happy.
Sometimes you can find inspiration in the weirdest places. You could be reading a magazine and see like, I don't know, a picture of a flower or something and be like, oh, hey, I'm going to do this now. It doesn't have to be cosplay related to like keep yourself positive. Just try a new hobby, whether it be crafting related or just like, I don't know, scrapbooking something. Wait, that's crafting. Oops. Just find something that makes you happy.
It's just like reading a good book and just curling up in the corner. Like, it just feels good to do that kind of stuff.
I don't know, I've taken up a few hobbies since like COVID's happened. I taught myself how to make like D&D dice bags, and I posted it online and someone wanted to buy it, so I've been selling a few here and there. D&D has also helped me. There's loads of podcasts that I listen to, and you can play it over Discord and like Roll20, and you can still play with like friends and even strangers on Roll20. You just gotta make sure it's the right one for you. And then, yeah, you could still be like close with them and have an adventure with them, even though you're inside, which is what I really like. Or yeah, I've been binging shows like Hannibal and 90 Day Fiancé. It makes me feel so much better about my life.
Avatar resurfaced, and so I started rewatching all that again.
Oh, yeah.
I finally watched Korra.
I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go, but I go ahead and give a shout out to your social media so that way anyone listening can find you guys. Where do they look for you?
So I mainly only have like an Instagram that I really pay attention to. I'm somewhat on hiatus. I'm kind of taking a break from cosplay for personal reasons, but my Instagram tag is at JNostalgic. It's JEINOSTALGIC. No spaces, no underscores, anything, just straight. And that's really the only social media I got.
I have an Instagram, and that is basically it. Don't look for my Twitter, please. But, my Instagram tag is at ArtemisI, and it's spelled ARTAMISI, because AI, yeah. Artemis I, but spelt wrong with an A instead of an E. I know, I was very, very creative with my cosplay name. But yeah, that's it.
And then me and Artie have a joint one, but like we don't post very often on it. It's just the Nostalgic Guy cosplay.
Yeah.
My Instagram and Facebook are both at IC Inferno Cosplay, and I also have a YouTube at IC Inferno Cosplay. So just all of them about the same.
So, listeners, you should definitely check them out. They're all very talented cosplayers, and it's been really cool seeing like their journeys over the past few years. Like, you guys are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I'm really glad that like I could be part of your guys' like first time judging. Like, that was really cool.
Yeah.
And like this was really fun today. My cosplay spirit is like blossoming burning. There we go, burning today, because I'm just like seeing all these amazing crafters that just came through, all these kids that are just like excited about their costumes and just being like, now I want to go home and make something.
We saw some really talented kids today.
Oh, we did. I was surprised, and I'm like, you made that in 2 months. What have I made in 2 months? Nothing.
So there is hope for us, guys.
Yes.
Our future, these teenagers are like, they're amazing. They're incredibly positive and kind and so supportive of each other. There are a couple teams that were just like helping each other out, and like, it's just, I don't know, it's really good to see that kind of stuff in the world still. So that's it for today. Goodbye.
Bye.
Welcome back, guys. Or I guess not welcome back. I've been there the whole time, but we've got Pan and David here. Oh my gosh, I can't even do anything.
I've been here the whole time.
Anywho.
So
let's talk, guys.
So yeah, like when you told me you were judging for a convention this year, it was not something I expected to hear in the middle of quarantine. So it's been really cool hearing about your experience and hearing from the other judges who were with you. I'm really curious, like, what the hardest part about that was. Like, I feel like with cosplay judging, you want to get really close and be able to see things. What were some of the challenges?
It definitely, like, Toshocon already has, like, its original challenges of that these are very young kids. They are all very, beginner. Even the ones that are in intermediate and masters are still have a lot to learn, as talented as they are. And having to judge from 6 feet away was definitely entertaining, where it was like, do I see that detail? Oh, okay, yes, okay. And I had the distinct advantage of like afterwards, all of the kids were very nice and were willing to be interviewed. So I did get a sort of closer up look as they came to talk to the my phone. And I did stand back so that way we weren't too close together. But it definitely was the distance thing where it's like I couldn't go up, I couldn't actually touch any of the fabrics. A lot of it I had to kind of look and be like, okay, that's costume satin. Oh yeah, that's cotton. Turn in the lighting a little bit more. Oh, okay, I see the linen now.
Why don't you have zoom and enhance cliche on your eyes?
I know.
Jeez,
you think
rude.
these glasses would have that for how much they cost?
Oh man.
But yeah.
What about like with props and things? Were you able to like actually touch the props, or were they also 6 feet away?
They were also 6 feet away, so we tried not to touch anything or get too close or any of that. So the props also had to be far away. But there weren't too many props this year, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And those who did do props, like there was a couple of giant hammers. That was really cool.
Nice.
And that was also really nice because you could see that from far away.
So I know a lot of conventions have been doing like different online versions of cosplay contests, from like online portfolios to doing like I know Anime Expo did like a design a masquerade.
Yeah, that was
cute.
Really
cool. How do you feel like what you did with ToshoCon was, I guess, different, better, worse, etc., than judging from like, say, an online portfolio?
So for me personally, I liked the in-person, even though it was still 6 feet away and, a little bit harder for this age group. I think that actually worked out really well. Because I came in, I knew what to expect, and I was excited for these kids. And so I made sure that even though they couldn't see my smile through my mask, that I was, cheering them on and, building them up as much as I can. And I could do that right there with them there. Another thing too that I think this had an advantage over the like just doing it purely with a portfolio online was that immediately, like as soon as they were done with their judging, they had time to just kind of stand behind the curtain, take a few deep breaths, and then come on stage whenever they wanted to and do their stage performance for us within that time frame. And so how Toshacon set it up is they had 15 minutes. In that time, they would get judged. They would go on stage, do I think they have like less than a minute on stage. And then, if there was leftover time, which there was in all the cases, I think I only had to rush one interview. They came and interviewed with me. But like, they were such good kids. And it was just really cool to be able to see them take their costumes on stage and just put them into action right then and there. And I didn't have to like go back and forth between like, oh yeah, I remember this one in judging, and we had to, it was just all done at once.
Right.
And it was actually really cool.
So you mentioned that they got to be on stage and do a performance. Was it just for an audience of the judges then? Or like were they recorded or?
They were recorded, and of the day of ToshoCon that we were doing the panels that Saturday, they actually digitally showed the whole contest, and then after we got done deliberating, which took a long time this time. It usually takes a long time, but it took a really long time this time because us judges were very indecisive about the best in show choices. Kept going back and forth a lot. But once we finished that up, we announced our decisions by having us recorded, each of us taking our masks off one at a time to make sure that the camera would be able to hear us, and then putting the mask back on before the next person would announce the next winner, kind of thing. So.
Oh, okay. So it was all pre-recorded and then edited in for when the actual convention was running, right?
Yes.
I do not envy that person who had to do the editing.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. It was only like a week before the convention itself, right?
Yes, 2 weeks before. It was 2 weeks before. Yeah. So they
that's a crunch. Even I'm not comfortable with.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a Wednesday and a Saturday for judging. Wednesday we had like a couple of kids come in, and then we did a Saturday, and then there was like a weekend, and then ToshoCon.
So. I'm really curious, like, how did did they do group entries, or was it all solos?
Yes, they did allow group entries. I don't think they had any rules on the group entries on whether they had to be family or anything like that, so... but seeing as a lot of those kids who were in the groups were crafting at each other's houses anyways.
Okay.
That, but there weren't very many that did group this year. So, which is understandable because, COVID.
Do you feel like they took sufficient safety measures? Like, do you think it is a viable way to host cosplay contests during quarantine?
I actually really do think so. It sucks not being able to go up and touch the fabrics and actually see everything, like, up close. But, like, everybody stayed 6 feet away. They had a special place for the kids to put their masks before going up on stage. Our tables were far enough away from the stage that we didn't have to worry about anything. As soon as you entered the library, you had to... they had hand sanitizer there, and then you had to sign in and sign out when you left. Like, they had it really well organized and, like, sanitized.
Yeah, the more you tell us about it, the more I'm like, oh, that's really thoughtful, the way they handled this and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, each of us judges had our own candy bowl. Which I didn't realize I had until I closed the computer at the end of the day, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's all this candy here that I missed. So, I stuffed my pockets.
The pinnacle of how they planned really well is there were candy bowls.
Yes.
Keep that sugar intake high.
Oh, goodness. That's really cool. So we also got to kind of help. I don't know. We did 3 panels over the course of the weekend.
Yeah.
With our team here from Cosplay Stitch and Seam. Do you guys want to talk about the ones you did on Friday?
Sure. Yeah. So on Friday, the first one that we did was about audio design for your stage presence and how to get things running. And we've done panels for NDK and Bonsai now, like three whole cons together, right? And there is so much relaxed about jumping onto a Cisco call thing meeting where it's just like I just show up and I'm already there and I'm ready to go. It was so nice not to be like, okay, I gotta set up all the mics and plug into the mixer and get recording. It was just like, I'm here. I'm ready to go.
See,
so relaxing for David.
See, I'm like the exact opposite. Like, I mean, I don't have the equipment side of it, so that's definitely a giant less stress that you have to deal with.
Sure.
But I get really bad, like, phone anxiety, and for some reason worse video call anxiety, which makes quarantine really frustrating for me. So I'm like, okay, I have to do my makeup because people are actually going to see me, at least from, like, the shoulders up.
Dude, Pennon. I was so washed out by the sun. And, like, I knew I was going to be because I was like, it's going to be over in this room. So I just wore lipstick.
Nice.
No one could tell I wasn't wearing actual makeup because I was just so washed out by the lighting in that room. I was just like, I'm good with this.
I think it was the first time I'd worn makeup in, like, months. Like, literally. I think the last time I wore makeup was... No, okay. The only other time I've worn makeup recently has been on our Cosplay D&D Chronicles Patreon game. It's also video.
Yes.
I'm like, no, I have to, like, not look like a garbage fire. So... The only times I put on makeup is for Zoom calls lately. Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say that I also just wear lipstick for, but that's because my webcam is garbage. It doesn't. It's good. I love it. A kind of peek behind the curtain. Like I've talked about how like I work IT
And like my day was just nonstop chaotic, and it wasn't great. And to be sitting down and just like talk to a bunch of people that wanted to hear me was really refreshing. And then not having to troubleshoot Zoom later on or at some point during it made the whole thing just that much easier for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But we talked about how to kind of our audio episode, my first time like actually being on the podcast as a participant, how to best make your sound design in a very succinct way of just like, hey, use Audacity, it's free, check with your con and see what the rules are going to be for sound design. Can you use licensed music? Why would they not allow licensed music? What are you allowed to do? What's some ideas that you can take? Mercedes had some really great ideas of like, record with a friend, record multiple lines. It was a lot of fun to see these kids show up and be interactive in such a fashion.
And be able to get like this information that again, a lot of these kids, they don't mix their own audio. And so it's like, hey, next time you join the cosplay contest, you can try doing this yourself and it's free.
Yeah.
Nice. I noticed too, like, because I did chime in on I wasn't able to like attend because I was at work, but I had it going while I was, and I noticed a lot of the kids were actually in cosplay for the convention. Yeah. I thought that was so fun.
There were so many that were at home in their little costumes, and it was just like, one kid was like totally laid back in their bed with like a pillow and everything, and I was like,
that's how to attend a con.
Yeah.
I need that mentality of like, nah, I'll just do it from the hotel room. You can come to me.
Yeah. I just like love just how like chill and relaxed it was, and then just like these amazing costumes that these kids are wearing. I felt bad that I didn't dress up.
Oh, what was the other one that you guys did later that day?
I'm so proud of the name I came up for it. It was Magical Cosplay Materials and Where to Find Them.
Okay.
And I realized halfway through it that I needed to pick fabric or armor. Because
oh dear.
David was like, Mercedes, what about this material now? We need to go out, we're running out of time. And I'm like, oh shoot.
Oh no.
There was one person, and like this was more something that I really loved about the fact that it was all online, is that when you're at an actual con, you're sitting at a table, and depending on the venue, you might be far away from people, and because it was essentially like a Zoom call or a Skype call, and you could see everybody, I could see people's reactions. And this kid asked like, how, like, did you use an embroidery machine for that or what? And VFire says, no, I did this all by hand. And I could just see their eyes grow, and they covered their mouth as in complete shock. And I was like, yeah, no, that sounds insane. It was just like, I could connect to the audience more, and it was really great. And I could see them like actually laughing. I may not have heard the feedback, but it was a lot of fun to see them actually react, and not just kind of like that, oh yeah, that's kind of funny. Like I could join in the visual of them having a good time.
I love that part too. I was like, yep, I'm crazy.
That's awesome. And then on Saturday, David and I did a panel. It's kind of like on how to bring more life into your costumes and think about like the worlds that they come from and what materials to use for what different things depending on the effect you want and whatnot. So that one was a lot of fun. I feel like, I don't know, we got a lot of questions about like wigs and armor, and I felt like it was a good balance to have both me and David there because we could cover different ends of things.
Me and my whole 3 costumes.
Oh my goodness. It's not about how many.
I know.
Those up though every time you're like, oh, in this example, and I would just bring up a picture of his costumes because they're easy to find.
I was watching Adam Savage do one of his one-day builds, and I was like, oh my gosh, with that material, I should totally remake my hipster Flash costume. And I was like, wait. I gotta finish like so many other things first.
Oh man, what a mood.
By the way, side note on his one-day builds, I love how they're never actually one day.
right?
It makes me feel so much better about my progress.
So, like, overall, how would you guys say the virtual convention went?
I definitely still miss in-person conventions, but for a digital one, I had a ton of fun. Like, and I hope the kids did too, because, like, I don't know, I love ToshoCon. I can't technically go to it since I'm an adult, but
you're a kid at heart, Mercedes.
I'm a kid at heart, yes. It's just a good, cute convention.
I definitely enjoyed the online aspect. I'm 100% like, I missed the experience of just like walking around, seeing everyone's costumes. Like, it's so draining for my introvert soul, but at the same time, like, it's so refreshing to see people and their passions, and being able to get a small snippet was really refreshing, and it was really nice. There were some times where, like, hang on, you guys, I gotta go. My mom's yelling at me.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I was like, oh no, poor kiddo.
Oh no.
That happened a couple of times, and you're just like, oh, I hope that everything's okay over there. Like, you know, I'm sure it's just like, hey, could you get off the Wi-Fi? Like, I've got a meeting that I gotta go to, or something like that. But at the same time, it was just, it kind of gave me, a taste of con life again, and I was just kind of like, this was so good. I want to go back to cons. I've been listening to some other cosplay podcasts to like reach out and like, hey, let's collaborate and whatnot. And like, I've listened to one, and they're like, yeah, we're going to this con, and it was crazy, and we did all these great things, and I'm just like, I want to go to Denny's. I want to do this. This sounds really great. And my paranoia is like, nah, we're not going to do that till like 2022, so we can wait a little while longer.
You know, it's sad when you miss like midnight Denny's exhausted run with everybody.
2 a.m. Denny's.
Yeah.
Real hours.
Aww. Dang it.
Yeah.
What about you? What about you, Panna? Did you enjoy the online? Do you think it's comparable?
I mean, I thought it was really like it. How do I want to say this? I thought it was really fun. I was like hesitant at first because of my phone anxiety, but like it really helped getting to, like you said, see everybody's reactions and perspectives. And I think it made the conversation feel really casual and easy to ask questions and talk to each other in a way that I don't think you necessarily get at a panel, because it's like a big panel room and there's not always time to hit every question, or we may not see someone raising their hand. And in this one, there was just a little side chat and we could see like things people were worried about or had questions about or didn't understand. And it was like really easy to just switch gears and answer questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's something that they should implement in future cons, of like, maybe not necessarily having the full WebEx Zoom kind of scenario, but like having a chat room that people might like, who might be a little shy or want their question asked anonymously.
Yes, that's one thing that like in the classroom is like, if a kid has a question, they can send it to their teachers over like different programs rather than having to raise their hands if they're too shy.
Yeah.
Dude, that's really cool.
That's super cool.
It's so nice.
Oh man, that's cool.
But yeah, I really love ToshoCon because like, and I'm really glad that it was still able to go on in this digital format,
right?
Because like a lot of these kids, they need ToshoCon. They need events like that to, even if it's not getting them out of their house, it's getting them out there and finding like-minded individuals that, you know, can share in this creative spirit that they, you know, might not know that they have just yet. And it gives them, you know, like, I've always loved how safe ToshoCon is for these kids.
Yeah, no, it's that safe space where they know like it's encouraged for them and it's exclusively for them. I can only imagine that like parents feel at ease too, because can you imagine like doing your standard adult, I've never looked at an anime convention, what's it all about research? What are these yaoi paddles that I've read so much about?
No,
you know, like yeah.
Don't read about that.
Don't read about that. One, don't research it. But like, it doesn't take you more than 5 minutes of Googling to see the trends and habits of people who go to these cons, and like it could really scare a parent away from letting their kid experience something that brings them so much joy. So I'm all about creating safe spaces for all these different people to come together and share their craft and what they love.
Nice.
Take it to whole new levels as well.
I think those are good ending thoughts for ToshoCon, yeah?
Definitely.
Well, if you guys want to share your experiences, remember you can always reach out to us at cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com or
go to the website, cosplaystitchandseam.com, and fill out the Google form on our contact page.
Or you can join our Facebook page and group. Message us there. Tell us your horror stories. Join our Work in Progress Wednesdays. They are a lot of fun to see what everyone is working on. I always get a little pride whenever I get to share something because I'm not the crafty one of the group, but I'm so happy about it. Like, oh, look, I did a thing.
Fun. Yeah, I love it.
It's super cool. And like, it's super cool to like, even like, just like, oh my gosh, look at the progress that you made on this one thing. And I like following up on the people who are sharing. It's also really great to see like, I didn't make anything. I'm taking a self-care day. And it's like, yes, take care of yourself.
Good job.
Yeah.
I know we have one member who's like, oh, I'm working on fanfic. And I was like, bless you. Bless you so much. I have consumed so much fan fiction during quarantine. It is like my lifeline.
That's so great.
Shoot, I should start working on mine.
Well, while you're on the internet reading the fan fiction or joining us and leaving us a horror story, you can also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podchaser, or wherever podcast lets you leave a review. We want to give you a shout out on the show. And also you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/cosplaystitch. And at $3, we'll give you a shout out on the show. For $5, we'll give you a shout out on the show. And you can join our once a month D&D Cosplay Chronicles.
We make silly faces, silly drawings.
We make silly faces,
silly
and V-Fire
adventures.
has to draw something now every single time, unfortunately.
Well, it's a good thing I like doing that.
Yeah.
And we finally picked a standing schedule. It's going to be the first Sunday of every month at noon Mountain Standard Time. So if you want to join us live for the episode, you can, and you can actually influence little bits and things of what happened.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
This time, again, we're starting to build up an actual story, so that it ended on a cliffhanger and everything this time. You guys get to hear it if you haven't joined our Patreon. And again, we'll be releasing the audio-only versions of it, so don't worry about it if you can't make it. But if you can make it, you can also join these awesome people that first Sunday of every month. You can join Silver Deeds, Shock H, Stacy Pitt, and Sudi. Thank you so much for joining us, you guys.
Yay, thanks, Sudi.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. It's I'm so excited about this game, you guys. I can't even tell.
Too.
Yeah, it's super fun. And of course, thanks as always to Macy Roberts for the use of her theme song, and David for his amazing audio prowess. What you working on?
So our Marvel vs. DC bracket is finally back. We have a chance to talk about our movies, and we're still only about halfway through. So, and then of course, that's all happening on our Comic Trades Monthly. And then, as of the time of this recording, we're still planning on reading Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life, which is very different from the movie, but at the same time very similar. There's some key changes, and I'm excited to talk about that in the next month's episode. Dungeons & Chill is still on hiatus as we're recording our Curse of Strahd game, and I'm excited to get back into that, and hopefully one day get back to sitting at the table and sharing fun stories with each other.
Yay! Woo! Awesome. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We love you. Be that positive support you want to see in your community. Love each other, support each other, especially now. And just be the wonderful people we know you are.
Bye!
Bye! Bye!